Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And I'm actually going to be sitting here and talking today about something I haven't really talked about in quite some time, mainly because, at least in my own point of view, there really hasn't been any news about it in quite some time either. And that is actually from AEW Games, is about the AEW console game. Now, I haven't really talked about any of their other stuff because the other games that they have were the casino game, the Double or Nothing casino game, and also the Elite General Manager, which was a mobile game, which is not something that's usually in my wheelhouse, so I don't usually talk about it. So I've been waiting on for more news that have been more than just character reveal trailers for the console game that is slated to come out at some point. At least they're taking pre-orders at this time to go along with it. That's one piece of news to go along with that as well. But since the last time we've talked about it on this channel, one, it's got a name. It's called Fight Forever. Two, it actually has a publisher. So it's not just through AEW Games being done by Ukes. It is actually being done by, or it's actually being published by THQ Nordic. And if you remember that name, you probably remember THQ in general from the WWE games way back in the day, because that's where the initial publishing had been before they went over to 2K. And of course, Ukes and THQ have been teaming up for quite some time. Now, back in that time frame, I was optimistically cautious about it, and that's just due to past history, and not just past history of like playing the games or anything. I had actually done some stuff with the old WWE games and being around Ukes and everything like that as well. So there's like that cautious optimism about it. And they threw out a teaser trailer, I think earlier this morning or last night, basically saying it's like, hey, there's going to be more gameplay and stuff to come at this event for THQ on August the 12th. Now, if that was the whole thing that was going on, then we wouldn't be here right now. I'd be waiting until August 12th to be talking about that. But they also, initially there were some leaked screenshots from the game, but eventually those screenshots actually showed up on the THQ Nordic official website, and they have been showing a few other things to go along with that, as well as game modes that could be coming to go along with this as well. And I believe we have an idea, I don't know if this was a leak or anything like that, there was also a video that was starring Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker in there, kind of showing off a little bit more of the gameplay. I don't know if that's going to be what's going to be shown at the August 12th event, or if it's going to be something else that is going to be shown there, but we have had that in there as well. A couple things that I'll kind of note in there before we go over to the website, and maybe we'll see that in the actual videos as well, and the actual, not videos, but the screenshots that they have here. Is that one, it seems like they're going to have intergender fighting, in this game, where it's going to be male versus female, and if you decide to select the characters. At least they've been showing that in the actual gameplay itself, which is something that has not really been put into wrestling games in quite some time. So it is definitely something that is going to be a part of that game. I don't know if people are going to consider that controversial or anything to go along with it, but it's an aspect of it being a video game, so it's usually taken a little less controversially in that side of it. But let's actually skip over to the website itself. Here we go. And here we are. We are at the THQ Nordic website for AEW's Fight Forever. So they basically have the teaser announcement trailer here for this. And of course, they're going to have the pre-order sign and what systems it's actually going to be on, which it looks like it's going to be on everything, which is good. I like this. It's on PS5, it's on PS4, it's on Windows, it's on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, and also on Nintendo Switch. So it looks like they're going to be everywhere, and they're not just going to be beholden to the new generation of consoles, because basically with how everything went with production with those consoles, there's still a lot of people out there with the last generation on Xbox and Xbox One, so you don't want to miss out on that. So I'm glad it's kind of on everything. That's a good thing for that side of it. So I really like that. I think they've already announced that a long time ago, but that's something I really like. So they come down here to the game, which is going to be so they're going to say it's more arcade feeling. I like this. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the simulation style, but the arcade feel of a game is something that, you know, it makes it feel like it's a game in that one. I like the simulation that you usually get with the WWE 2K series or anything like that. It's fine, it's good, and it does what it needs to do. And I do think those games are good for what they are to go along with that. For the most part, we've obviously had some really bad years inside of there as well. But they're going to go with a more arcade feeling. And that's what they were saying from the get-go. Like when Kenny Omega and everybody was kind of going around with this, they wanted to make it feel more No Mercy esque, which for a lot of people, now there's a different there's a lot of different feelings about what is the best wrestling game out there. No Mercy is not a consensus number one, but it is definitely up there for a lot of people. A lot of people's number one, but there's also a lot of people I believe that go with SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, I think is the other one. And there's also some more current ones as well that people ended up really liking from the THQ series from the WWE games. But that was the feeling that they were going to go for. It looks like that's what they're sticking to go along with this. It does look like they're going to have a career mode, which is just going to go in. So it's a AEW's Fight Forever Deep, Fight Forever's Deep career mode highlights the fun and personality of an AEW's or an all elite wrestler's life, an AEW wrestler's life on the road. So it looks like they're going to be doing a career mode. That's good. I like that. Inside of there as well, I find that to be a staple of what you need nowadays is a career mode or something that is going to just say, hey, you know, you want to you want to have some kind of a story mode of some form in there. Like on WWE side, it's usually a showcase mode, and here it's going to be a full-on career mode. And I think that's going to be nice to go along with that. They did answer the question about customization in here, and I'll actually bring up another picture here in a moment, but it does look like they have answered the question about customization. AEW Fight Forever's wide range of customization options include wrestlers' attires and appearance, so you could probably create a wrestler, movesets, entrances, teams, and arenas. So we'll be able to do special arenas to go along with that as well. I like that aspect of customization. It's not super in depth. Well, I mean, we don't know how much the create a wrestler will be super in depth, but it doesn't go absolutely overboard with it. But it looks like there's the potential now, based on what we see later down the line, the potential for a lot of different things that could be done. I wonder if they're going to do an online community creations like they do with WWE games. That will be wait to see down the line. But they have actually announced some other things in here. So they have announced match types, which I'll go over here in a brief moment, and also online co-op as well. So those are a couple of things. That was one of my questions from the get-go, was online, and I'll get a little bit more into that here in a moment. But they are going to have an online mode, which is good, and it looks like it's going to be co-op based, which means you can do tag team matches with like 2-on-2s and everything like that. So I like that aspect behind it. So here's some of the screenshots that they have shown. So they don't fully show it in there, but one of the things that they showed in the video that I saw earlier, like I said, I don't know if that was leaked or not, but the video with Shivani and Britt Baker was some of the other things in there to go along with that, and also showed that Britt Baker was fighting Adam Cole. So we know Adam Cole's going to be in the game now. Not really shown in these pictures, I don't think. But here we go. So this is this is Moxley and Omega, and you have Aubrey in the back here. So it's a very good showing for the paradigm shift. At least a screenshot, and we have a Kenny Omega V trigger off to Chris Jericho, is still wearing his La Le Champion scarf. So there is some old stuff in there from like way back at the beginning of AEW. Here's a little bit of a difference here. And let me try to get rid of my camera for a brief moment just to show this. So you see down at the bottom, you have kind of a energy life bar for Kenny, and you also have a Moxley one here, which is showing in danger as well. So they are going to have kind of that aspect of showing if somebody being in danger or anything inside of here as well. So that is definitely No Mercy and not just No Mercy-esque, but WrestleMania 2000, WCW versus NWO World Tour, or is that, yeah, WCW versus NWO World Tour was the first one, and then the WCW Revenge. That's like kind of what you saw with UI for both of those. So that is something that is definitely there. Here we have Adam Page. So I think this is the first time we've seen Adam Page in the game, throwing Moxley onto a ladder. So I imagine they're going to be having some form of potential ladder matches, or at least weapons in some way, shape, or form in here. You have Thunder Rosa. This is like the first time that we've seen Thunder Rosa in the game as well. And Yuka Sakazaki and Abaddon. So these are like the first times that we've seen them in the game. So that it looks like they're going to be in the game to go along with that. And also kind of showing off the fact that there's going to be triple threats. I'll be talking about that here in a brief moment as well. A full-on Chris Jericho setup for... This is definitely old Seb. This is not Jericho Appreciation Society Chris Jericho stuff with that one. And it looks like there's going to be a mini games in here, and actually it is kind of confirmed in that video as well that's been going around, that there is going to be mini games inside of here. And this one looks like it's going to be a home run derby, and based upon this, it's going to be also based around the Stadium Stampede match as well. So they're not going to have the Stadium Stampede match, but they have something in there that that refers to it. If you see here, it is Hikaru Shida with this, and you can definitely tell by the aspect that she has a kendo stick there. So she's going to be using a kendo stick as a bat. So that's kind of cool in there, inside there. It looks like there's going to be a home run derby thing to go along with that. There's a couple of other mini games that we saw in that video as well that I just won't actually show here, because again, I don't know if that was leaked or not for that time frame. So of course, order now. They are taking pre-orders at this point in time, but that's pretty much everything inside of here. So there is another picture, which I'll bring up here in a moment, that we'll start going over right here. So there is a picture for basically the different match types and the different game modes to go along with that. So they are going to have leaderboards and everything like that on the terms of the online side. Let's actually talk about online first, and then we'll go into match types to go along with that. Online, they have mentioned that it's going to have online co-op inside here. So it does mean that you'll probably be able to team up with a buddy or something like that to do tag matches, or you can have 4 people, and at least 4 people into a game, probably more, considering if they decide to put in an online setting one of the other match types. But the one thing, and don't get me wrong, I like the fact that they have online inside of here as well. But the one thing that worries me, and I know this from past experience, doing some stuff for the old WWE games when Ukes was on there, but also like afterwards as well, is that what is their netcode going to be? Let's be fair. Like when I was around there, the netcode was really bad, and it wasn't like it was just like something that they started doing for like that year or anything. Because the games I refer to are WWE 12 and WWE 13. But their online system had never really been good, and like from the other ones that I had tried afterwards, it never improved. And that's a big thing about this. Is it going to be just normal uke style netcode? And if it is, then honestly, I'm going to be fair with it. Their online is going to be almost unplayable at that point, because there's always been a lot of input delay and everything inside of their netcode. So hopefully it's something that is where they're trying to improve it. I'll leave judgment for that until they kind of say more about it. All we know is that there is online. They haven't announced if there's going to be an attempt at approving the net code or anything to go along with that, or if it's just going to be the stuff that they had used in the past. So it's a kind of a wait and see to go along with that. And like I said, I've been around those, and I'm going to be really fair because I also play if you check the channel here, I do put a decent amount of fighting game footage up here to go along with it, and then some shooter footage as well. Like online netcode for those have gotten a lot better recently. Shooters much more before fighters to go along with that, but we haven't heard anything about them attempting to improve the netcode, which is unfortunate on that side of it. I'm not saying that they need to try to, put in rollback netcode or anything to go along with that, but it would be nice to hear that they are going to attempt to improve upon the netcode that they have put in past games. So we'll see what that ends out going out about that one. Outside of that as well, we do have different match types. So the good thing here, as I'll look at the other screen for a brief moment to be able to fully see this, is that we have singles matches, which you kind of assumed. You're going to have tag team matches. You kind of assumed that was going to be in there as well as fatal triple threat matches, three-way matches, four-way fatal four-ways will be in there. You will have ladder matches in there, so emphasizing the ladders that inside there, that yes, they are going to have ladder matches. You're going to have the casino battle royale, which I'll be interested to see how that works inside of the video game, because that match has always been kind of a cluster to begin with. You have falls count anywhere matches. You have the unsanctioned lights out matches as well, which also will allow, and they're putting in there is like, this will allow for weapons use. It'll be interesting to see what weapons they have inside of there. And then they, of course, are going to be putting in the exploding barbed wire death match. I wonder if they're going to put a better explosion in there, or do they just kind of rib everybody and put the explosion that happened during the Moxley Omega match? I don't know. For that side of it, I would assume that they will go with a bigger boom for that one. Now, based off the screenshots that I saw and some of the other gameplay stuff that I've seen as well, like I said, I've left myself as cautiously optimistic. I think in the terms of everything, right now I'm a little bit more optimistic based off of what I have seen. It looks like they're going to be putting mini games inside of there, which is going to be just more for fun aspects of it. And the limited gameplay stuff that I've seen right now looks arcadey and fun. To go along with that. So I feel like the offline area is going to probably be pretty good. That's how I feel right now. Now, obviously, haven't been able to play the game. Would love to go along with that. So we'll see when we get our hands on it. The online side, I'm super skeptical with, but that's because of past. Now, if they're working on netcode or anything like that, then that's going to be completely different to go along with it as well. So it'll be interesting to see what fully ends out happening. I wanted to kind of talk about this because it's been a while, but also I felt like there hadn't been any news on the game until recently. So with that being said, everybody, I hope you guys take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your day.